Ladies and gentlemen, something monumental has happened, something historic, something that echoes not just through the streets of Birmingham, not just through the bones of Villa Park, but through the very heart of heavy metal itself. The gods have taken their final bow. The creators have descended from their stage. The pioneers of a global movement have uttered their final roar, and the world, trembling and awestruck, has watched. Black Sabbath, yes, the Black Sabbath, have played their last show. It wasn't about extravagance. It wasn't about lasers or fireworks or a 25-song setlist. No, it was about power. It was about legacy. It was about rawness, and honesty, and the weight of everything they've carried since 1968. Only 4 songs were played: War Pigs, Nib, Iron Man, Paranoid. And yet, somehow, it felt like the entire history of metal had been crammed into those few monumental tracks. And oh, what a moment it was. The atmosphere in Villa Park. Electric. Not a single soul was quiet. Not a single breath was wasted. 40,000 metalheads stood shoulder to shoulder, black-clad and teary-eyed. And beyond the gates, in homes, in bars, in garages and bedrooms across the world, another 5.8 million watched the livestream, breathless, witnessing the end of an era. This was no ordinary gig. This was metal's Live Aid. This was its final communion. A revolving stage stood like a monument at the center of the spectacle. Around it swirled memory, sweat, fire, and sound. Bill Ward, yes, the original rhythm machine, was back. And with him came the groove, the swing, that had been missing from every drummer since. Tony Iommi, ever the riff architect, churned out sonic slabs of molten iron. Each note felt like it could crumble the stands, split the ground, set off tremors. Geezer Butler, flawless, precise, the ghost behind the groove, moved like a conjurer, his bass lines dancing between power and mysticism. And then, there was Ozzy. Oh, Ozzy. He is not just a frontman. He is not just a singer. He is an event, a phenomenon, a spirit barely tethered to the world around him. And though at times he looked confused, or broken, or disoriented, he never wavered. Because that's Ozzy. That's what he's always been. The city of Birmingham, Sabbath's cradle, their sanctuary, their forge, wrapped itself in black. It wasn't mourning. It was celebration, reverence, recognition. These were not just rock stars returning. These were heroes, sons of soil and steel, come home to say goodbye. Earlier this week, the city granted them the highest honor it could, the freedom of Birmingham. And now, this summer, this whole glorious season, has been declared the summer of Sabbath. Not a weekend, not a day, a season. From events to exhibitions, from pub nights to ballet recitals, it all circles back to the sound that defined a generation. Yes, you heard right. Ballet. The Black Sabbath Ballet returns this autumn to honor their legacy in a way few could ever imagine. Pirouettes to power chords, grand jetés to guitar solos. A bridge has been renamed in their honor. A bench has been dedicated to them. A tifo, massive and defiant, depicting Ozzy in all his glory, was raised by the Holt End just last football season, reminding everyone that this band isn't just Birmingham's pride, but its identity. As the final chord rang out, as the last cymbal crashed, and as Ozzy cried out one final, "We love you all," the world felt the tectonic plates of music shift. There was no encore. There didn't need to be. Because how do you encore eternity? How do you follow 4 men who birthed an entire genre? How do you top the moment when gods become memories? This wasn't a goodbye. It was a consecration. Every riff was a prayer. Every scream a hymn. And every tear in the audience, whether on the pitch or behind a screen, was holy water. For 55 years, Black Sabbath stood like a mountain. Unyielding, unchanging, unapologetic. They created the dark. They lit the path. They didn't ask permission. They didn't care for trends. They carved their truth into the airwaves and dared the world to listen. And listen we did. We built our identities around them. We found power in their distortion. We found solace in their thunder. We moshed in garages. We headbanged in stadiums. We passed them down like sacred texts, father to son, sister to brother. And now, as the final light dims, we are not sad. We are grateful. Grateful that we lived to hear the first chords. Grateful that we stood at Villa Park for the final ones. Grateful that we walked this earth during the reign of Sabbath. Legends do not retire. They ascend. And tonight, 4 men climbed the mountain they built and left us staring up in wonder. Ozzy, Tony, Geezer, Bill, thank you for the darkness. Thank you for the sound. Thank you for the history. And most of all, thank you for showing us that from the bleakest of riffs can come the loudest declarations of life. This was not just the end of Black Sabbath. It was the beginning of legend. And legends never die.